Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Crypto Papa, and today we shall be discussing on how you can discover your purpose. In other words, how you can discover a system. Okay, how you can discover a system. These uh, two work hand in hand. Talking about a system is like you cannot actually know what to do that will liberate you financially without finding your purpose. Please take note of that. So it means you need to know your own purpose and align it with the system you are looking for. Okay, the system you are looking for, because if you fail to do this, you might not really function well, and that will lead you to depression. Okay, so you need to understand that. Now, I always tell people that every success comes from God. Every success comes from God. And you cannot say, and that's the reason why Christians are known as Christ-like, okay? People who are truly, genuinely born again, that have Jesus in their life, okay, cannot say that they are suffering or they are finding life difficult. Why? Because God Himself is life. And He is the only one that can show you the way. And that is the reason why He said, I have given to you everything that pertaineth to life. I have given to you everything that pertaineth to life. Hear this. Nobody should deceive you. Even the so-called people you think they are not of God, in other words, they don't serve God, and you see them prospering. Let me tell you the simple truth. If you check them very well, if you dig deep or go close to them very well, you will know that they pray to God, for a God. Even Satan himself, yes, as far as Satan himself, or let's say coming down to native doctors, people that are not serving God, for them to achieve a purpose, you will see something like, we pray to the Almighty, or Lord, just help me to achieve this. They've actually talked to God before talking to their own God. You need to understand this. Now, God is not a partial God. Okay, God is not a partial God. Now, sometimes you might just like, why will God answer them if they are not for God? Yes, God will answer. The same way He gives rain to everybody, whether you're a sinner or not, you belong to Him or not. The same way, there's a way you will approach Him. He wouldn't mind giving it to you. I give you an example. Talking about the woman that met Him, in the Bible. The Bible said Jesus looked at her and she said, woman, I cannot give you food that is meant for the children. Outsiders are for dogs. In other words, only food that falls from the table of the children that you will eat. And the woman was making a statement. It was even the woman that made a statement, saying, yes, I know that you cannot give food that belongs to the children to dogs. But at least, even dog eats from what falls from the table of the children. And that touched God and said, because of thy faith and because of what you have said, take it. Now, talking about discovering a system, you need God. And that's why sometimes I am not happy with some of the questions, but I just still have to attend to you and probably guide you, direct you. You know, question like, if I do this, what will happen? No, it is not if you put this. For instance, today, I think early this morning, somebody was chatting me and they said somebody directed him. Okay, somebody directed him to me, and that he wants to make inquiry about CMDX. And at the end, it was like, hey, he said, if I register and I get 250,000, I register with 220,000, I get 250,000 in 5 years' time, I'll be making millions. I just smiled and I told him, you need to attend this meeting. And I'm sure he's here, okay? So please listen to this very carefully. It is not a matter of someone coming to introduce a business to you and you will just go into it. No. The first thing you need to do to identify a system is to go close to God. Seek his consent. Is to know what he is saying concerning that thing that came or dropped inside of you, or that came through a friend, a brother, a sister, or even anybody at all. You need to make inquiry from God, seeking to know what to do from God. You have to trust that you really do have a higher purpose, not based on what you are saying, not based on what Crypto Papa is saying. You have to know the meaning or the reason you were created. So you have to really understand that you have what? A higher purpose. Then the second thing you need to do while discovering a system, I told you, to discover a system is to discover an opportunity. And let me tell you the gospel truth. Opportunity you see, they are solutions to problems. So opportunity will come, will not look as an opportunity, will come in disguise. In other words, will come looking as problems. So if you don't have the heart to solve problems, then you cannot grab the opportunity. You cannot even grab the system that is being presented to you. And that's the reason why the first thing you need to do is to seek God. Take notes. Now, let me give you an example of what happened in that 2017 December. Hear this. Now, when CoinMB came out, even before then, look at how I missed so many opportunities. I told you in 2009, we heard about Bitcoin and we couldn't go into it. Why? Because we thought, it's one of those programs. And then 2009, I went into what is called the Dreamlight WS. For people in US and the UK, they'll be able to understand what I just said now. Dreamlight WS. That was 2009, 2010. And from there, another program came known as Genius Fund. This was the same 2009, 2010, We were just investing money. And in Genius Fund, as of 2010, I invested over 200,000. In fact, I collected 100,000 from my sister just to assist assist her, to get her footing. Now I was like, please, let's invest in this. I've invested so amount. If you have probably like 100,000, why just bring it and let's invest it? Now hear this, I didn't seek permission. I didn't make inquiry if it is the will of God for me to do it. And the problem it is set to solve. Any program that is not solving any problem, please run. It's a scam, number one. Number two, it will give you joy. It will even give you peace of mind. You see the way I talk about CMDX, I talk about BNG, I talk about blockchain technology. Now, blockchain technology itself gives you peace of mind when you understand where we are going. It's just like when telecommunication came, those that sought after God, they got the revelation on time and they got positioned. Now, other investments came, Amazons and what have you. Those that got the vision, do you know, let me tell you the simple truth, or let me ask you, are you aware that people that invested in Amazon in Apple, in Facebook, and the rest, they are not the only people that got the opportunity at first. There are lots of people that got the opportunity, but only few could see the light. And there is nobody, no man on earth that will see the light without God giving them the light or the permission. Take note of that. So you need to understand this vividly. So when we did all of that, nothing happened. Nothing went down the drain. I'm talking about 2009, 2010. Then we knew about Bitcoin. We didn't go into it. Why? We failed to understand the principles that govern these things. First, seek God. Seek God. We're talking about how to discover or how to identify a system, and it must align. If it does not align with your purpose, then it is not for you. The system, the opportunity is not for you. Take note of that. Then number two, you need to listen to your inner knowing. You need to do a little soul searching. You know what that means? When an opportunity is presented to you, when a system is presented to you, when an idea drops inside of you, the first thing you need to do is to sit down and begin to search your soul. Listen to your inner self. Don't forget, you that I'm seeing or you that I know physically is not the true you. Your true you is a spirit man. And you must understand everything that happens in the physical must take place first in the spiritual. So if you run with your physical man, you will kill the spirit man and you will begin to regret it. And the regret, it is not affecting the physical body first. It affects the spiritual man before the physical man. That is why sickness, you see, they will tell you, this symptom you are seeing, or these things you are seeing outside, it don't dey inside. We need to treat it from inside. we need to treat it from inside. You need to treat every opportunities from the inside. So you that asked the question this morning, is it true? You know, the man that told me is a man of God, and he said that I should ask you, and he said that if I put in 20,000 in 5 years, you can see the one putting that, and he said that, okay? And he said that, what is your spirit man saying? Not and he said. He has said his own. He has given you a system. Now you need to identify that system. You need to align. So the next thing you need to do is to search your inner self by going into the closet. And that is what we call meditation. Just alone. Just alone. This thing presented. This thing presented. How do I go about it? So you need to search your inner self. And at the same time, you need to distance yourself from people, from distractions. When you are doing this inner search, not searching from, people asking questions. No. Fine, asking questions is also cool, but you need to sit without distraction and connect with yourself in a way that works for you. Now, do you know most times if I want to connect, like I just said, in a way that works for you now, sometimes if I want to connect to a program or something, even when you introduce a project or a company to me or an idea, and I will say, okay, the first thing I would write it down. I won't even think about it that moment. Take notes. I won't think about it. I just said, okay, fine. And that's why some of you, when you ask me something, I'll tell you till the next day or so time, I will reply. It is because I'm not ready to gamble it. I'm not ready to venture into it at that moment. I'm not settled. That's not the project or what I was attending to at that moment. So the best time is when everywhere is calm, probably at midnight. The Bible says, when men slept, the enemy came to sow tares. True success activates itself at night. Let me just give you this secret now. So for some of you that spend the whole night sleeping, I'm sorry, I don't know how you're going to succeed. But true success, at times you wake up and just sit and begin to cogitate, begin to meditate, begin to see the future, at the quiet time. Not even, sometimes we'll talk about prayer, but we'll talk about communication. We really don't understand. It's a matter of having that calmness and begin to like, sweet Holy Spirit. Say, Christian, just help me. As I go into this, just help me, speak to me. And on your own, just begin to think. Just begin to, bring out your spirit man. Begin to, imagine things. Doing your own search with your pen and jotter. Sweet Holy Ghost, I bet you, do it in 1 week. That opportunity, that system, that project, that idea, that thing that is giving you sleepless night or that is making you uncomfortable, do it in 1 week, you'll get results. He that has ear, let him hear. So I told you the first thing you need to do is to trust that you have a higher purpose and seeking to know the mind of God. Because if you don't know that you have a purpose, you won't seek to know what God is saying. Then the second thing is to search your inner man, because your inner man is the controller of your person. And that's why the Bible says, if you want to surrender yourself, not the outside, give me your heart. In other words, your soul. So walk with your soul. I wish I can see you. I would have asked you to tell your neighbor, walk with your soul. But you need to tell yourself, I got to walk with my soul. Very important. Very, very important. Now you need to identify the third thing you need to do, discovering a system. Now hear this. I told you when I talked about the 5 laws of financial freedom yesterday, I told you identify a system, not systems. Either has here, let him hear. I didn't say systems. So it is not jumping from one to the other. So you need to get we're talking about system, one. Take note of that. So meeting God, seeking to know his mind. Then secondly, searching with your soul, your spirit man. Then the third one, identify your passions, your values, your goals. Now, you need to ask yourself a simple question. Why do you think rubbing minds with your soul, in other words, cogitating, meditating, you need to ask yourself some funny questions. What do I really do best? Or this opportunity that presented itself, naturally, will I find happiness in doing this? You see, I told you yesterday that I can sit and talk like this for hours. I can stand and talk for hours without minding if I'm being paid or not. It won't bother me. In fact, I will have joy. I will have peace of mind. Why? Because I find my passion. When I was younger, I told, and hear this, whatsoever thing, I don't know how you people think or how you people do things, whatsoever things or thing you think of, please be mindful, because they will come to manifestation, especially when you are alone. There was a time when I was still very young, I was telling myself that I must be a cartoon. I love, traveling and what have you. And before then, I have thought again on a quiet time that, gosh, I need to be a banker. Yes, I'm talking about years. I didn't even picture it. And it got to a point when I was writing my WAEC, and there was no money to write WAEC. In fact, the enrollment was over. It was, what's it called, NECO and what have you, was in fact over. And the very day after the extension and the rest, the very day that will expire, night of that day, I was walking some miles and I was telling God, oh God, if you help me, hear this now, if you help me and I write this exam, I'm going to dedicate my life to you. I'm going to serve you all the days of my life. I'm going to do your will. That was what I was speaking to God and to the universe while walking alone at night, trying to get solution to that problem. And God did it. And you know, when I was jumping from pillar to post, you know, trying to get a living, doing comedy, anchoring events, you know, marriage ceremonies and what have you, money was actually coming. But when I was ready to go into it fully, and I was trying to I want to come out as a star, you know, I spent lots of money. In fact, I did the first one I did with my friend, I was sidetracked, you know, let me not use the word duped or played or, you know, scammed, okay? And I was just like, fine, let me just let it go. Then the second one I did, then the third one, I was like, Father, if this doesn't work out, then I'm sorry. It means you are teaching me a lesson. I think I've told you guys some of these stories. I knew that this is what he's saying I should do. When I was even running up and down, doing other things, but I was just telling my God, this is what I just need to do before I will know, go into what I want to do. So I was being stubborn, not following the instruction. And the same thing happened in 2017 because I was stubborn. Even after he had told me to go into blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, I refused. In fact, it was so strong in me that I had to borrow money, 750,000. I told you guys the story. But when the money got into my hand, I didn't go into blockchain technology. I didn't go into cryptocurrency. The temptation came again. And I said, temptation will always come. So please take note of that. But when temptation comes, because you have settled it, please. And that's the reason why I'm teaching you all of this. Nobody was there to tell me some of these things I'm telling you. Okay? Now, the temptation was so strong that, you know, talking about double your money in 7 days, in 14 days, I invested the 750,000 into Ponzi scheme. You know, that was when Twin Cars and the rest was flying, 2017, 2016. But in 2017, I got that 750. And guess what? The money went down the drain. And when the storm came, people don't understand what I went through. They know that it was God that kept me. In fact, if not for God, I wouldn't have been alive talking to you. The storm was so strong that I almost was like, God, what is happening? But because he has cooked me, I was like, Father, help me. I know this cannot happen to your son. And within few months, because I have a listening ears, he gave me the instruction, blockchain technology, cryptocurrency. I had to sell my first car. I told you guys this thing. Listening to God, to your inner self, and to follow your passion. I already know that this is what I should do, but I was proven stubborn. So you need to find your passion, your goal, the values, okay? What you love doing. So the question I should ask you is this. You have been in this blockchain space, in this cryptocurrency space for like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months for some of you. Why some of you 1 month, 2 months? How do you feel? Do you feel like this thing is not working? Is a scam? Or kind of, am I really sure that this is what I should do? Because that's the reason why some of you, any opportunity you see to jump into another program, you don't think twice. You just jump into it. You are in a hurry to make it. Because if you understand where you are, what you are doing, you 100% stay put. So ask yourself a question. How do I feel when they talk about blockchain? How do I feel when they talk about meeting? I want to hear on blockchain technology, on cryptocurrency. I want to build myself. I want to go for programs. I want to organize seminars. I want to know more. In other words, I want to, establish myself in this industry. How do you feel? Do you feel happy? Do you feel passion or being passionate about it? Are you happy doing it? Just when I'm talking now, I'm smiling, I'm happy. Do you feel happy? Do you feel joy? So ask yourself. If not, I'm sorry to announce to you, please, you might either sell off your portfolios, give it out, or just lock up the passwords, that's the login details somewhere, and look elsewhere for the meantime. Do not attend the meetings, okay? Just look elsewhere. The little you've done, glory to God, just keep them. If not, sell, okay? Or give it out and focus on probably another industry, another system. We have lots of them, okay? You can be a singer, you can be a comedian, you can be a preacher of the gospel. You can as well be, what is it called? Is it agriculturist? I think that's how they call them, yeah? Yeah, agriculturist, or probably a doctor. Any of them, or probably anything you are good at, any craft you have, any skill, okay? So please think of these things as we roll, because anyway from now, we're gonna be closing the curtains. The next thing you need to look into while identifying a system, every day, while you think of the system, take action. You will not really know until you know. In other words, you won't understand, and that's why I ask if you are in the system for like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, because by now your eyes would have been opened. If you are following keenly, you should be able to know if this industry is for you. So you need to work on aligning your purpose or the opportunity with your actions. Commit to honoring them as best as you can every day. No matter how big, no matter how small, commit yourself. Commit yourself. Start taking some inspired actions and notice how you feel. That's it. Take some actions, just what you're doing, and please notice how you feel. That's it. Take actions. Don't just get around and don't just say, just like the one that asked, if I put in 20,000, which I come to, I think the last one will be for that one, then you will understand. Okay, if I put in 20,000, if I put in 100,000, how much will I get? We are not doing Ponzi scheme. That's not system. It is not all about money. And that's the next step that you need to know to identify a system. So you need to commit yourself. You need to take action, and inspire yourself in the little way you can. And as you do, try to, watch your feelings or how you feel about it. Okay? How you feel about it. Just notice how you feel about it. The last one should be, please, when identifying a system, don't just make it about money. Where I was still in the movie industry, they will tell you as a newbie, they will tell you, please, you are coming into this industry, the first thing you need to know or to take note of is do not think or do not come with the mindset of making money. If you come into this industry, I'm talking about movie industry now, so you understand what I'm saying, and it is so in almost all the industries. If you come with the mind of you want to make millions, you'll be frustrated. And they will tell you further that what you need to do is focus on mastering. Focus on projecting yourself. Because the moment you are good at what you do, money will come. I think this self-explains it. So if you think somebody introduced a system to you and the next thing to do is, please, if I put in 20,000, how much will I get? Then that space is not for you. I beg you, please do not invest. Just get out. Look for somewhere else. I believe you went to school when you were looking for an admission, either for medicine and what have you. You never ask anyone, if I gain this admission, if I finish from this university, how much you will pay me or the job you will give to me. You never ask any of the lecturers. You see the problem we face in this industry. You see the problem you face when trying to get financial freedom. Things you should even ask questions about. You don't ask questions. And things you shouldn't even ask, all these unnecessary questions, are things you ask questions about. How much will I get? Do you think the very moment you, as a farmer, the very day you clear the farm and probably you burn the grasses and you weed and probably you plant, is it that same day you reap? Do you even know how many baskets, if at all you are going into cultivating of cassava? Do you even know or have idea of how many bags of gari you're going to get, you're going to uproot or harvest? Do you even put into consideration if it will yield or not? Yet you go into it, right? But you want someone to give you assurance without giving yourself the assurance. So if you cannot give yourself the assurance, I beg you, this space or system you think you are in is not for you. Please look elsewhere. I must be raw with you this morning. I must be sincere with you. So it is not all about money, guys. It is not all about money. It is not all about money. The little money you have, if you have it and you are sure of what you want to go into, just do it and think, watch, grow in the direction of what I am telling you this morning. If you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living. And this is to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Because by the time they give you the assurance, put in 20,000, you get 5 million in 1 year, in 2 years. It is not what you want to do. You will just put the money. You are waiting for that 1 year, then you get your 5 million and move on. It's stupid. No, that is not how it works. Knowing what you are doing is key. Understanding what you are doing is key, and that will give you financial freedom. Where your money is coming from, if you don't have 100% knowledge, you can never be financially free. We are not talking about getting money, feeding from hand to mouth. I am teaching you financial freedom, guys. So you need to understand this. It is not about making the millions. It is about sustaining making of the millions. How to sustain the inflow. The inflows. It is not a one-off thing. That is the reason why you need to be a master. And if you want to be a master, you shouldn't ask the questions like, how much do I get? And how long will I wait? No. It is a matter of I need to know this by myself, just the way we know God ourselves. Joshua said, I don't know about you, I don't know about you, I don't know about you. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. So it is not about anybody, it is about your life. Imagine as we speak, those I told about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency years ago, 2-3 years ago, and they felt it is nonsense. It is not working, and they didn't even give you the thoughts. And not that they have a system that is giving them money. They just believe in job, J-O-B, journey of brokers. So they felt they are well to do. They are doing great. They never knew that the time is coming that they will be asked to stay at home. And probably their employers will tell them, we don't need you. And let me tell you the gospel truth. The way Nigeria Labour Congress is going, NLC, more jobs, will be gone. In other words, people will lose their jobs because there is slash in salaries and what have you. And look at it, it's very funny. You ask yourself a question: if you are not actually, what is it called? Stealing from the company, be sincere with yourself. And that was when I was still in the bank, I do ask myself each day, after the end of the day, end of business, I will ask myself, did I really pay myself today? Heaven bear me witness. It is not a matter of waiting at the end of the month to get your salary. And that's why the company can just easily tell you, we don't need you. Because you are just there doing the little, even if they don't push you, you won't push yourself, but you want the money at the end of the day or at the end of the month, which is not supposed to be. So you ask yourself a question: this place I am working currently, or this thing I am doing, am I really putting my time, my resources? It is not about efforts. It is about the results. It is not about putting money into a system that you know nothing of. It is about knowing what you are doing. And that is what we call financial education, financial literacy. Knowing what you are doing in the financial space, not just investing your money. He that has ear, let him hear. I think these are the points for today on how to identify a system. But the last time I will leave with you, because everybody has his own definition of success. So you have to define your own version of success when identifying a system. Being happy with what you do, that is what we know as success. And that's what we call financial freedom. Because if you are happy with what you do, passionately, it will pay off. So define your own success and tell yourself the truth, because you cannot deceive everybody at a time. You can only deceive yourself. Yes. Fine, they say you can deceive everybody, but you cannot deceive yourself. But you cannot deceive everybody at a time. You can only deceive yourself because you know the truth. You know what you are doing. You know how it is going with you. Especially in this COVID-19 pandemic, I don't know how you're feeling. I don't know where the shoe pinches you. So you know it best. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the few keys to identifying a system. Now take us little on what you should know about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. And I'll wrap it up. You must understand, I told us that we have three forms of money. Please always take note of this. I told you we have the God kind of money, we have the government kind of money, and the people's money. And you have to choose from these three. When we talk about God's money, we're talking about the gold. Of course, you know, gold is natural. It belongs to God. Gold belongs to God. God gave it to man. Then number two, the government money, which is the fiat money you are holding, the naira, the dollar, the euro, they belong to the government. And that's why they can just tell you, we are not paying out today, or freeze all the accounts, and you cannot have access to it. It belongs to the government. It is not your money. And that's why they can print at will. It is not your money. They are in control of it. And of course, you know what is happening to our naira? The depreciation, terribly bad. And we pray it doesn't get worse, because the elites, majority of them have positioned. If you don't know, please know this. You are the one at the dark, not them. They know already, they know what they are doing, so they positioned. If you are not aware, they've changed their naira into dollars. And you are here still holding on to your dollar. I mean, to your naira, rather. They've changed their money from naira to different things, probably to gold, to Bitcoin, to any of the blocks, but they will not tell you because they want to enslave you for life. If you are wealthy, you are doing well, and they are doing well, who will stand as a thug? Who will do the gate man? Who will do the errand jobs and what have you? So they will keep on enslaving you and your generations. He that has ear, let him hear. That's the second kind of money, government money, the fiat, the fiat currencies, talking about the naira, the dollar, the euro, the pounds, cedis. They are government money. They belong to the government. It is not your money. Now they can charge you anyhow, they can tell you anything, and it depends. And we have the third one, sweet Holy Spirit. The digital money, cryptocurrencies. It belongs to the people. It belongs to you and me. It has here, let him hear. It belongs to the people. Government cannot control it. It can only be regulated, but it cannot be controlled. So you have to understand, know the difference between being controlled and being regulated. So it belongs to you. It belongs to you. So you have to choose which you want to go for. Either the gold, of course, you know, if you want to get gold, you know what it means. Then either you go for the paper, the fiat currency, fine, good and fine. You can save your money in the bank. Of course, you know what banks are doing now. If care is not taken, they are going into serious liquidation. Majority of them, just watch out what will happen. Because no money anymore. People are going into the digital space, and you are there. You know, information is key to life. The reason or the difference between the rich and the poor is information, not money. The information they get matters a lot. The information gives them money. But when you fail to get information, you become poor. So information is what you need, and that is what I'm feeding you with. Not the naira, not even the, it's information that you need. So they have this information, they are shifting. So if you feel like, and you don't even know what is happening, you are just, you wake up, you eat, you know, you gist, you talk about the COVID-19, you talk about the crisis and what have you. Whereas they are talking about information, they are talking about, you know, activating what they should activate. And you are there talking about hunger, COVID hunger. Then if you want to choose, probably the digital money, which is the cryptocurrency, congratulations. I will welcome you with both hands. I will tell you this is what it takes. So ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand all of this. I want to appreciate you for your time. And of course, who I present to you now is BNG, which is the Boldespreneur, also known as Bold Exponential Entrepreneur, because we are bold, we are exponential. We are digipreneurs. We are entrepreneurs, we are infopreneurs. And that's why it's called Boldespreneur. And we have our own token known as BNG token, which will be used for buying of things, paying for services. And we have the e-commerce on the way. We have the messaging app, that you can use to message each other, do transactions, pay and receive. We have the blockchain integrated, one of its kind, first of its kind. And we have the global fintech payment system that through your phone, from your comfort house, you can do transactions outside the country with low fee using the Lumen blockchain. That's SLM blockchain. You need to understand some of these things we are going into. And we're talking about CMDX as well. You know, of course, yesterday I told us that some of us have connected our device, our CMDX feed, and we have gotten our $550, which is 5.5 million CMDX already, being a platinum member. And you know what that means? You exercise, you get paid. And at the same time, if I want to check my pulse, I want to go for checkup, my system and the rest, I don't need to visit the doctor. I just go to my back office from my smartphone and I'll meet my doctor. I'll tell my doctor what is happening. He will give me a prescription, tell me what to do. And right from my back office, I'm going to, if I need drug, I'm going to visit any of the pharmacists and I'll get the drug and it will be shipped to me or probably sent to me in any language you understand. So I pray you understand some of these things we are talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, these are great opportunities for you to liberate yourself financially, for you to be at rest with yourself, for you to hit yourself or tap yourself and tell yourself, by His grace, we are safe, we are secure. I told you on this lockdown, we are happy doing what we know how to do best because we have gone from the offline to the online and we do things online. We don't need, you just got to understand that it is no more business as usual. It is no more doing things in the analog way. We are now in the digital way. He that has ear, let him hear what Crypto Alpha is saying. God bless you. I appreciate you. Just keep rocking. We have 2 days to go. I mean, 1 day rather, for the promos on ground, BNG and CMDX. If you can seize the opportunity, good and fine. But if not, wait for next month's promo and just keep running. Just keep running. Hit yourself hard. Push yourself hard. Just keep going. Stop, sitting on the fence. Stop, sitting on the comfort zone, relaxing on the comfort zone. Just hit yourself a little harder. Tell yourself, I can push further. Just get out and begin to speak. Speak into the universe before speaking to man, and you see things happening. That is how it is. That is how it is being operated. Thank you very much. If you have a question to ask, probably you can ask.